Hey guys, what's up? Today we are reviewing the Kreg Accu-Cut. So this is similar to the Kreg Rip Cut that I reviewed. If you want to check that out, it's up above. But this is more accurate. You know, this is a sled for your circular saw, so you can make really accurate rip cuts, cross cuts, which I need for the cabinets that I'm building for the house. If you haven't seen that video, check that out. So I got this for 80 bucks. I've never used a circular sled, and this will be the first one that I try out. So has really good reviews. Hopefully it helps out with everything that we are doing. And like I said, I'm not a carpenter by trade, so I'm learning how to make cabinets on the fly and just out of necessity. And this is just, I have some bigger cuts that my table saw can't handle, so I figured this was a cheaper alternative than buying a whole table saw. But I'm gonna go ahead and get it out of the packaging and set it up. I'll show you guys. As always, guys, if you like the video, hit that like, comment below, and if you would consider hitting that subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. So all right, guys, so here we have everything that's included. You have your tracks, your connector bars and screws, your starting block, and your sled, which will hold your saw. All right, so step one, you're gonna assemble your track. You're gonna turn the two track pieces upside down with the black strips facing up, and you're gonna slide the two connector bars halfway into the slots in the track end. When you do this, make sure that you look at the front and see which two pieces you're supposed to be joining together, which two ends. I did it the first time and I did opposite ends. There's two little arrows in the middle pointing to each other, and they should point to each other when you connect them. All right, after you tighten the first set screws on the connector bars, take the second track and slide it onto the connector bars. Again, make sure that the indicator arrows on the top face align with those on the first track section, and then tightly hold the two tracks together and tighten the remaining set screws. Slide the starting block into the T-slots on the end of one track. I believe it's interchangeable where you can switch it from one end to the other. I just put it on the Accu-Cut side. Next, orient the filler strip. The filler strip is the little gray strip on the sled, and it's shipped with the angle ribs facing up. These ribs are meant to support a saw base that has an angled edge at the front, and they keep the saw flat on the sled when you set the screws. And for example, my saw has a flat leading edge, so I had to flip it and turn it upside down. Next, you're going to mount your circular saw onto the sled, and you start by removing the little indexing stop, the little gray square on one end of the sled. Then you'll loosen the set screws in the base plate clamps. Next, you're gonna slide your saw base under them. Position the saw on the sled with the front of the saw base plate against the step at the front of the sled. And there's two different slots, one for a right-handed circular saw and one for a left-handed circular saw. So you'll use the one that fits for your saw. And then you'll tighten the set screws and the arm screws to hold your circular saw. Okay, one thing I didn't do before putting the little block back to hold my saw is you're supposed to align the saw with the track, and you are supposed to align it so that the blade will shave about 1/32 off of the guide strip, and you'll trim the guide strip so that there's zero offset, and you tighten the little square after. I didn't do that. I left it as is, and the only difference is that my saw, I have to lay the track 1/8 of an inch farther out than my cut. So let's say I'm cutting 20 inches, my track will be at 20 inches 1/8, and this allows me to see the cut as I'm cutting it and make sure that I'm staying on my line that I have marked. And just to make sure, I did cut and I did make cabinets this way, so it didn't really affect me. Of course, when you install yours, you can do it the manufacturer's way and trim off that 1/32 piece off the guide strip. As you can see right here in this part of the video, you can see the 1/8 right there that's left over, but I'm still getting the perfectly straight cuts that I needed for the cabinets. So thank you guys for watching, guys. I hope this helped out a little. This is a new tool. This is the first time that I ever used it, so I just wanted to share with you guys. It did make cutting the sheets of plywood a lot easier, a lot faster, and they were really precise. I didn't have any issues with the measurements. My cabinets came out great. So if you're looking for something to help you with your cuts, be sure to check out the Accu-Cut from Kreg. As always, guys, thank you for watching. If you hit that subscribe down below if you don't mind, and leave me a comment. So we'll see you guys next week.